Hey guys, the Ace, and today I want to do a follow-up video on one video I posted about 2 months ago, and that is about the MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Now, as I said, I did buy it, and I did point out some pros and cons of it, but that was only after 1 week of experience. I have been watching more and more and more of it, and I must say, I am still yet to be impressed, and at some points I'm actually upset. So I'm going to start breaking down some points right now. Okay, my first point is said it had every game on the MLS lineup. Now, I don't know if they mean every regular season game and postseason, or if they just mean every game ever. Now, if it's the second one, that is a flat out lie. Because apparently the US Cup is on a completely different streaming platform. And you might be wondering, oh, it's just one MLS team versus another team, kind of like how last year, how FC Cincinnati played against Guadalajara, Mexico. Except, no, it isn't, because the one game I went to watch was FC Cincinnati versus New York City FC. Two MLS teams, but it wasn't on the MLS Season Pass. It was some other random streaming platform. So I'm not sure if they mean every regular season game. If they did, then that's still truthful. But if they mean every game, well, then that's just a flat out lie. So that's my first point. They could have lied and said every game on the MLS Season Pass, or if they really meant every regular season and postseason games on MLS Season Pass, then they should have made that a bit more clear. All right, another massive complaint I have about this. I don't know who the hell is operating these cameras, but they need to be fired. Because multiple times, there's this points where it keeps replaying the same thing that we saw earlier, multiple times from multiple different angles, which is fine, but then it cuts out either a massive goal scoring opportunity, or in the most egregious case, it cuts out a goal. Check out this segment from the FC Cincinnati versus DC United game.
Magnetizing two. No ball to absolutely no one. Barayal gets on the end of it. Barayal around Ruan. Did he get brought down? No. All ball, says the referee, who seemed to have a good angle. Paulson was appreciative of the Brazilians' efforts. In extremis and inch perfect. Or was it? Because this will certainly be reviewed.
For me, it was a great tackle. I'm looking for far away with glasses on. It's a really good tackle. Really, really good tackle. The Bailey's not happy. There's some noise in here. This can still help FC Cincinnati, though.
Acosta, near post. It's met! It's in! Lucho Acosta with an Olympico! It just sneaked in. Enough accuracy, enough bodies in for Tyler Miller. And FC Cincinnati take the lead.
Tight game, Lucho Acosta, the captain, steps up. And it is an Olympico, it looks like.
Yes, they replayed Barrial getting tackled, but wouldn't play the corner kick where Acosta scored an Olympico, and then didn't replay the goal for a solid 30 seconds after it's scored. Now, I get that they don't replay it instantly afterwards, and they always wait some time to show the fans and stuff, and I would understand that if they would have shown the goal in real time. But they didn't. Whoever was operating it wanted to play the same fucking foul that wasn't even called, instead of showing the actual fucking goal in real time. Okay, another counterpoint would be, well, what if he didn't score? But still, though, that's a goal-scoring opportunity. Pretty much any corner kick, especially if it's shot towards the goal box, could be seen as a goal-scoring opportunity, and you should show that. Even if it gets saved by the goalie, or if it gets booted out of bounds by the defender, or an offense kicks it out, you should always show that. People actually give a shit about that. They don't care about some guy getting tripped up and playing that shit on loop. No one cares. Alright, now this one might seem a little odd, but I swear this actually has a point. Take a look at the little system UI, the scoreboard at the top there. Look how bland and lifeless this looks. It's just so sterile. It lacks any character or anything. And on top of that, it's incredibly slow. It wants to do things one at a time, which isn't bad, but it's so slow in reacting to it. Now, the worst of it is when multiple people are substituted and it keeps showing it and then puts it back and then another one puts it back. Now, this wouldn't be so bad if it didn't take minutes on end to even start the fucking thing. And one of the most egregious ones was one player at an FC Cincinnati game. It replayed the same substitution 5 times before substituting the other Cincinnati player and getting to the other team's substitution. So again, I don't know which idiot controlling the damn scoreboard, but they also need to be fucking fired because they're incompetent at it. Now, I know I said it looks bland and lifeless. I mean, look how just robotic and cold that is. Take these two scoreboards from the last season. Look at FC Cincinnati's board that you would see on Star 64. I mean, look at it. It's very simple, yes. But you see those dots? That represents how many subs they have. So you don't need a constant message of how many subs or have left. And look at that. It has each team's logo in the little box. Sure, it's small, but it has character to it. Now take a look at the New York one. Yeah, it's also very simple, but it has bright colors. And it has the team's names written like that. And it's nice and small and off to the side. It's not some long bar across the screen that isn't completely bland. They all have their own little character to it, and it's really nice. And then you get to this, and it's just bland. It doesn't even tell you how many substitutes there are. And there is a little tiny white bar between, right here, there is this little tiny white bar between the navy blue and the timer. I don't know if this is just me, but that just upsets me. It just does. Alright, another point that I do not like. A lot of these commentators are not very good. Now, that might seem harsh or anything, because sure, not every commentator is going to be good. But I swear to God, every time I watch FC Cincinnati, it's either going to be really decent commentators or ones that just hate the city of Cincinnati. I swear, multiple times. Probably the worst of it was the St. Louis game, which, yeah, we were in complete shambles after losing two players and they're playing at full force, but the guy was just ribbing on Cincinnati the entire time, which, I mean, yeah, we kind of got a bit confident and cocky, but still, you don't need to rib on us the entire time. And the same thing with the Chicago Fire game. That one, we were down 3-1 the entire time, and then we came back, but especially during the second half, before we came back, the guy was just completely disrespecting Cincy and wouldn't say anything about the Chicago Fire, even when they blew a 3-1 lead in the last 10 minutes. He wouldn't really say anything bad about Chicago, which is just, pretty biased, in my opinion. But yeah, the commentators are either really biased, sometimes they just won't shut up about random shit. Like, I remember one guy talking over the Cincinnati game, talking about some other random bullshit that had nothing to do with what we were playing. So it's a very big mix of good and bad. And I wouldn't be complaining about this if I didn't pay the money for the pass. When I pay $80 for this season pass, I want good quality. All right? I want unbiased announcers that will actually just call the game instead of inserting their own opinion about certain teams. Again, if this was a free broadcast, I wouldn't give a shit if the guy completely roasted Cincy the entire time. I wouldn't care. I mean, I would be annoyed, but then I wouldn't really complain about it because, hey, I got to watch the game for free. Who cares? Okay, so that was mostly my main criticisms and anger with MLS. Now, I do want to talk about one of the massive positives of it, and is that it does have full game replays. And I was looking on the website where I pulled some of these clips from, and it does seem to have like the full 2022 season for at least FC Cincinnati. That's the only team I give a shit about. It does have their full highlights as well. I thought that was, that's pretty cool. But there's two major complaints I have about it. Now, this isn't really for the 2022 highlights. I didn't really watch much of that. I just watched the quick recap. I haven't really seen the full game highlights. But I have major complaints about the full game highlights. While I do appreciate them having it for the 2023 season, I just have one overarching question. Why the hell aren't they edited down? And I'm not saying cut out all the pre, mid, and post game talking. No, I'm talking about why is there fucking dead air and dead space in between each talking session and in between each of the halves. And when I mean that, I'm talking about the scene where you're just looking at the stadium in real time as it just says Apple TV will resume. Why couldn't you have cut that out? These game highlights don't come out immediately after the game. They can come out a couple hours later. People aren't going to mind, especially given that these games take place at like 7:30 Eastern time all the way to 10:30 Eastern time, which is 7:30 in Pacific. Most people are either going to watch it or they're going to go to bed. You got several hours that you can trim down all the dead space in between all the talking of the pre-game and the post-game, and in between the halftime report. You can edit all that crap down and then push it out. And boom, you have people actually maintaining interest, and it's not aggravating. You have to keep skipping through a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of dead air, just so you can watch two teams play. Now, I personally don't give a shit about the pregame and postgame shows and the halftime report, but I know a lot of people do, so just cut out the dead air and keep all that in, and you can keep them interested, and it would give the other people less time to skip. It is really not that hard. Now, again, this is mostly positive because I'm happy that they gave the full game replay, but it also has that massive drawback. Oh, and they still have yet to fix the stupid way to even get the full game replay. Instead of, having it up at the front at like the game that you could select, it says view recap, you have to travel all the way to the bottom part of the page on your TV remote. For the TV at least, you have to go down to the bottom part of the page, press and hold on the little square with the MLS logo. You have to press and hold that to get the full game, the full 90 minutes, even though it's like 2.5 hours because they keep all the dead space in. Instead of having it, at the fucking top. It wouldn't be so hard. Make that view recap. Instead of making it go all the way to the bottom, just have that be the shortcut to where you can either select like the 5-minute version or the 90-minute version. Them not fixing this has fucking baffled me. Same with the goddamn score showing and the spoilers. You have to disable that. Why? Why is it disabled in the first place? Why can't you automatically disable it and then make the people re-enable it if they want? It's just fucking stupid that they have yet to fix this. It is just utterly insane in my opinion. So, overall, what do I think about the MLS Season Pass so far? I don't like it. There is a lot of problems with the way that they broadcast the games, like in not showing the actual fucking game, but instead showing a replay of a foul or not a foul repeatedly and cutting out important elements of said game. That's my biggest gripe with MLS Season Pass right now, and it's a massive one, and I'm not looking forward to this entire merger, because it's kind of evident that they don't care or they're just pumping out mediocre product when you paid a lot of money for this. Again, this wouldn't be so bad if you didn't pay like $100 for this. Instead, you got it for free on television. Yes, it would be annoying, but it wouldn't be so bad because, hey, it's free. Versus this being $100. So that's my biggest complaint with MLS Season Pass. I'm still rooting for SC Cincinnati, obviously. I kind of hope it gets better, but at the same time, I highly doubt it. I don't like Apple, and Apple's notorious for pulling a bunch of shit. Will it ever go back to public broadcast? I doubt it, because I guarantee you MLS and Apple will fucking throw everything at this to make this not a failure, even though this could be a giant mistake from the MLS perspective of even doing this. A lot of people really didn't like it, and a lot of people still probably don't like it very much, if them hiding their subscription numbers is any detail. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on the MLS Season Pass so far. I'll continue to stick with it throughout the year, and I might make another update video when I see necessary. But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in another video, guys. See ya.